Okay, folks. So we are rolling right along here. Hey, Charles is in all the way from St. Louis area. So thanks, Charles. Before we get started on Success Tracks, again, I want to thank you folks for your patience. This is a beta test of what we're going to be doing. We've got some awesome presenters lined up going forward. So thank all you folks for being patient and attending. And I do want to give a big shout out to the sponsors of Free Promo Success Tracks. It's Fields Manufacturing, Primeline, Warwick. These are three great suppliers, and you can go on freepromotips.com in the product showcase section and get samples, free samples from some of the great products and learn about what they have to offer. And also Newton Manufacturing, a distributor who stepped up to help support our education program. So without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and pass the floor over to Charles Duggan, and enjoy the session. There we go.
All right, everybody. Well, you know, when you think about back to the basics, I always think about gold miners and how they always, how they found gold in the first place. But then the second place is how rare gold is and how to go after it. So that kicks off our session here. So back to the basics. You know, the other day I was heading to the Home Depot store looking for a drill, and I don't know if you've been to a hardware store lately, but you know, I'm going up there. The options of drills would just drive you crazy. There's so many power with the cord, uncord, battery life of 5 hours, battery life of 2 hours, all different sizes, torque, all this other stuff. And then as I'm sitting there getting ready to spend a couple $100 and a lot of other stuff, I realized that I didn't need the drill. What I needed was a hole. And that gets us back to thinking is, I could definitely make a hole without a drill in a number of different ways. But as we get back to the basics, remember it's selling the sizzle, not the steak. So, hey, what's in it for me today? Well, another thing is everybody's going to be able to get the tools to be able to have gold bars that they can actually take it to the bank. And we're going to go over some tools available. We're going to find different ways to connect without using the social media. We're going to briefly talk on a referral program and a thank you program too, probably of one of the most underutilized tools that are out there today. And then getting to the social part, when you're mining for gold, all the hype's been in the social media and the blast, and I look at social media as it's just another tool in your arsenal of ways that you can connect and ways that you can go to market. It's not for everyone, and you don't have to grow your business using social media. It definitely can help, but you don't have to. And again, if you just look at it from the standpoint, it's a tool just like your catalogs are from your suppliers and other things. It's just one of the tools available. So when you're mining for gold, look for basically threats from within. Have you ever caught yourself thinking, I'll just keep doing things the same way? I already know it all, and I've been doing it for years now. That's almost a common one that I hear when people come up at a trade show and ask me, they just pass by because they say, oh, I know your account, or I know your line very well. And then last but not least, there's nothing new to learn out there, which is probably not the case with you guys on here because you're coming back to a session, back to the basics.
Yeah, Charles, like I know it all, don't I? I mean, how can you help me?
Jeff, definitely I can help you in a number of ways than one.
Okay, cool. And also, Charles, I was going to comment, your don't build your business with social media. That's like heresy. I'm really looking forward to getting more out of this thing, Oh, my gosh. Anyway, hey, thanks. Sorry I had to jump in.
Jeff, appreciate you popping in like that. I would expect nothing more than that from you. But again, social media, is just a tool. But everybody out there, definitely there's lots to learn. And so what we're going to do here in a second, we're going to get back. And I'm going to actually play the video at the end because I think it makes more fitting. but it's from Think and Grow Rich, the founder, and he gets into some different things that we can talk about. But boils down to right now, no matter where you are, if you're sitting at your office, take out a piece of paper and a blank piece of paper and write down, my plan. It's so interesting dealing with, distributors, suppliers, multi-line reps all across the country. There's one question that I ask everybody is, do you have a plan? Do you have a plan for your business? Do you have a plan for where you are? And the majority of people say no. So I want to start with that. What's your plan? Write down this number, sales for 2012. It's so interesting. Everybody might have a plan, but they don't even write down how much they want to sell this year. That's number two. The other thing is, what were your sales the first 4 months of the year? You should know that by now. Today is May 2nd. You closed the month, I guess, probably yesterday. But you'll have a good idea of where you are and then where you need to be. And then take that number. So let's say you want to sell 100,000. And, the first 4 months you have 25, so you got 75 left. Divide it by the months, and that's how much you're going to have. Actually, and then even get into the point of dividing it into per day. That'll give you kind of an idea of where you need to go with that. One thing I forgot to mention, too, is during this session, if you have any questions, you can feel free to type it in the public chat or even private chat and send it to me. I'll be more than happy to answer. Again, and if there are any questions or comments or anything that you want to learn a little bit more of or want me to dive into a little deeper, just use that there. It should be on the bottom left-hand corner of the chat, and we'll take it from there. So getting to increasing your business, Chet Holmes, which has a book out called The Ultimate Sales Machine, was published a few years back. But basically, he says there are 3 ways to increase your business, and they are get more clients, get clients to buy more, and get your clients to buy more frequently. It's funny, a lot of us spend a lot of time with the first one, get more clients, because we feel that if we get more clients, then we'll get more sales, and therefore it'll drive it on. Today we're going to look at a number of different of these parts and how they fit into the whole program. But you should have a plan set up, with your piece of paper on. You have your sales goal, you have where you are now, and then you have 3 bullet points: get more clients, get the current clients to buy more, and get them to buy more frequently. And there are definitely things that we can do for each of those. If you haven't read the book, it's a great book. Pick it up and plow through it. So this was a recent study from ASI that was just published. But it basically looked at, I like this pie chart from the standpoint of, it looked at distributors and how they get more business from their current clients. The thing that surprised me the most is, look at the 42%. They ask about upcoming promotional events and promotional needs. I think that's pretty amazing. The second one is they ask for referrals to other departments. Something as simple as a referral, and we'll get into a little bit about the referral program a little bit later. But they ask, who else can you refer me to just within the department, which I think is amazing. The next one is the 16% that showcase new products, ideas from suppliers. Everybody always wants to know what's new and what's hot. Now, what your customers haven't been buying could be what's new, and it could be a product that's been out there a while. Let's say an example like it's calendars. But just between those 3, and you don't have anything else, that is, add that up real quick, that's 79% of what current distributors are doing. So kind of make a little mental note on getting new clients. All right, so getting back to the basics, we always get back to what are some of the things that can help me grow my business right now. And I came up with kind of 4 specific things. One are spec samples. Spec samples definitely are one of the most underutilized tools out there. On your plan sheet, that you have out, write down spec sample plan. And the spec sample plan can be in a number of different things. Talk to a number of successful distributors, and they actually put it in their calendar or actually schedule an appointment with yourself to send in spec samples. It's basically a great way that you can get your business out there. And for me, it produced our largest order ever. It was from a spec sample that was out there 2.5 years, sitting on somebody's desk, working for the advertiser, which is really interesting because a lot of times we'll do a spec, show it to the customer, and they don't like it for whatever reason, and then we take it back and we either we don't recycle it or we just kind of put it off to the side. But are you guys calling on the same person within that company that you have now that you have, let's say, last year or the year before? Probably not. So what somebody didn't like definitely could be what somebody else does like and gets the reason why you made it up for them in the first place. So definitely spec samples. You know about random samples. I'm not even going to get into that. With turnkey programs, there's a lot of suppliers that have turnkey programs out there. Basically, and at different time periods of the year, they might have seasonal programs that you can actually let them help you automate turnkey programs. And if you want, I can give you some examples of that. And then bottom line is special pricing. You can ask for special pricing, and that's definitely a way that you can help grow your business as well. I will give you one bonus. I'm going to give you two bonuses during this presentation. But one bonus right now is if you want to double your sales, this is a fail-safe way too. So if everybody out there wants to double their sales, let me see your hands. All right, I can see everybody. There's a couple people not raising your hand. So if you don't want to, then you cannot listen to this. But if you look at your order book and you look at all your orders, print them out from say this first quarter or even the last year, you sold probably 92% of your orders at minimum quantity. And when I've said this in different presentations before, people always say, well, yeah, I did. And the reason why you sold the minimum quantity is not because the customer asked, it's because that's what you showed them is the starting quantity. So what I want to do is challenge each and every one of you going forward is to take the minimum out of the equation and bump it to the next level and present that. And you can present it as it's the best value, which is really neat. People will see that as the best. Now, can I get less? Well, sure you can get less, but it's going to cost you more. So I think when you put the value equation in, and during the expo when I said that a distributor came up with a great idea, they came up with, instead of putting the lower quantities first, they put the higher quantities first. So let's give an example. If it starts out at 250, 500, 1,000, 2,500, they reversed it around. So you start out at 2,500 and then went down from there. So the eye reads left to right, unless you're over in China, and then it's right to left. But left to right, so I'll start out with the bigger number. And a lot of times people see the value of buying more, so that would fit into that too. So just a little bonus there. And during this, it depends, I guess, where you are and what part of the country you are, but planting seeds. My wife and I recently planted, well, this is our third year planting a garden, and it's amazing what you can plant from seeds and then what comes from it, and also what comes with if you plant seeds and don't water it too, because we had a thing that we forgot to water, and it definitely didn't produce anything. So with planting seeds, in our business, we have to be planting ideas on how to help your customer grow their business. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for ways to how they can connect, how they can, motivate their customers, how they can improve in performance, improve motivation, how to reward the employees. They're thinking, how can I say thank you? They also are saying, how can I activate inactive accounts? because that's something we might get into a little bit later, but that's basically really an untapped resource right there. The second thing is, how can I promote safety? Your customer's looking for ways, and then it's your job to help them to tie in the whole campaign, and that'll help you increase your sales. So when you're selling spec samples, they're definitely your key. So think about that. You got to have I envision each and every one of you having your list of accounts. Take your top 5 accounts, and you need to have a nice box, tub, spot on the shelf for them of all the different spec samples. At any trade show you go to, whether it's a traveling show or if you go to the expo, ask when you're there, what samples do you have available, or what spec samples do you have? It's really a way that you can help connect yourself with your customers. And it gets back to the old saying, customers don't know what they want because they don't know what's available. So definitely the spec samples are. Another one of the forgotten gems, and a lot of people always forget about it, is utilize your sales rep. Think about your sales rep. The sales rep's number one goal out there is to increase your sales. They also can be there to help you if there's a problem in communicating with the factory or help getting something streamlined through. They can make you aware of specials and what I mentioned before in reference to turnkey programs. They can help you set up that. But a lot of people they don't spend the time really getting to know their rep and really working harder with them. So they're a great resource. I always remember flying across the country, probably, sit on a plane for 4 hours and you have a meeting set up and nobody shows up because everybody's out busy. It's like they spend their time and effort of going to see you. Make sure you spend the time. And then the other thing, too, is give them something to do. Give them logos. Give them projects you're working on. Bring them into the mix. They can really help you and expand and grow your sales. So where do you get your special pricing from? It's different. A lot of people forget about the old saying is, what do you do for the order? You ask for the order. Well, you got to ask for special pricing. Ask what products are going to be available at what time. Also, you could put something together that says, hey, I want to promote these 3 items or these 4 items or 5 items throughout the next quarter. What can you do to help me? You'll be surprised how many people will come back and really help you put together the resources for that. So then you got to do it differently. I got a big kick out of this, with baseball season in full swing. This came across the other day, and it was a coffin. And I guess in coffin sales, you got to look for ways to help promote coffin sales. So if you're a diehard Cardinal fan, you would definitely like this model. The best part about this is it's probably double what the original casket price is. But, think about it. You got to do it differently. You got to approach it differently and think of a way that you can connect either your product or your service to your clients. The other thing, too, is the association has a lot of great tools to help you with. The research is top-notch. There's so many different things to help you not create and reinvent the wheel. If you haven't got the recent printed calendar is king, that is really a great piece from PPAI. Also, there's so many other different research tools available. The Idea Source is probably one of my favorite ones. If you're not familiar with that, I think you can connect through that through PPAI. And what this basically is, it goes back and it lists every gold pyramid, silver pyramid, runners-up from 1975. It's an awesome tool. I love it because if I'm looking for, let's say I'm looking to build goodwill, I can go in and just search building goodwill, and it'll pull up all the different campaigns that are there. And then you can go in there and see how the program was executed and what the objective was. It's pretty amazing. The cost of it's like, I think, $99 a year, and then after that it's like $50. But I tell you, it is probably one of the most underutilized tools out there. You know, a lot of times we think we need to reinvent the wheel, and basically, you know, the information's out there. It's just a matter of how you find it and how you apply it. But definitely check out the idea source. And if you want, I'd be more than happy to send you a link or show you that particular product. All right, this was something that I had a distributor came up to me from the last show, or a show. Actually, this was a couple years back, but I thought it was one of the most clever ideas. Basically, brings a Ziploc bag around to the different suppliers and Ziplocs all the products and catalogs and everything that you got. Kind of a little time-saving thing, so when you get back and unload your box or bag or whatever, you don't have to, you can find it. So that's just a little simple tip. Now, there's so many different ways to connect. When was the last time that you actually called your clients on the phone? Today, we're so inundated with, let's just send a quick email. Let's respond that way. When a lot of times, remember, we need to communicate either a face-to-face or definitely on the phone. So think about that. Either call them up, just call them up out of the blue, and not send an email. Another thing too is in person. That's probably, I don't know if you make your rounds or how you make your rounds, but sometimes it's good just to kind of, when you're in the neighborhood, pop in, and it really gets a good response. And hey, I was thinking of you. I was in the neighborhood, and just want to know what you're working on, or ask the list of questions from before. And for those who still have a fax machine plugged in, fax them a note. Just hi, thinking of you. Let me know if I can help you out on the next promotion. We'll definitely get to the top of the pile, because I've had my fax machine sitting over there for about the last, 4 or 5 years, and if I got a fax, I would go look at it. So that's definitely a thing. And then automate. Automate, what I mean by automate is there are a lot of programs out there to help you automate, either if it's a product idea section, to kind of to remind you on regular, I think the best word to say it, on regular intervals on product ideas. The number one reason why you lose a customer is that you're not keeping in touch with them. So think about that. Think about investing in ways to help you automate some of that, just to give them the idea that you are out there and you're caring about them and you're thinking about them. So definitely that is a way. And if you want specifics, I'd be more than happy to send those to you and let you know what I think is probably some of the industry's finest ones out there. But definitely go see them, stop by, call them up, fax them if you still have that fax number, and then automate it. So here's a webinar that I was on the other day that I thought was really important. These are the top 3 things you should know about your customer. Number 1 is, why have they chosen to do business with you? I think that's a very important thing. Is it because of a price quote, or was it because they like and know and trust you? The second one is, what are you there to help them accomplish, fix, or avoid? I think that's a very important one as well. The third one, and this gets back to, and it's probably happened to a number of you out there, is how many times did the upper management change and they didn't know who you were and you got bonked out of the business? So definitely keep in touch with the senior contacts and give them the reasons why your company can uniquely service them. And I'll take that one to what you guys should be using in reference to your personal samples, products with your name on it. I tell you, it is so important to barrage your customers and clients and prospects with promotional products with your name on it. Shows that you can see the value of them, but then it also, you want them, when you're not there, you want them thinking about you. And how can you get them to think about you? You can get them to think about you if, I'll give you an example. Think of all the different places where you go or where your client or prospects goes. Okay, so let's give an example of the office. Okay, inside the office, how many different places or how many different unique opportunities do we have to place a promotional product? I can think of at least probably over 20 right now. Let me know if you can think of any more. But you can think of a wall, definitely for like a calendar. The desk itself is pretty amazing because it's great advertising space. Think of all the different places where you can set and set a product. Good example, let's look on the desk or on the keyboard. You could set a keyboard calendar, a pen, notepad. I mean, you go on and on. An award is, hey, you're my favorite customer. A picture frame, a book. There's a lot of different ways where you can target that. And then even a mat, you could have a funny picture. You could have all different kinds of stuff. So when you think about it, think about where your customers are. The car. Think of his car, his or her car. How many different places can you land a promotional product there? Or you can really land them all over the place. So think about where they are. The kitchen is another one. And again, getting back to if you're one of the first 5 people that signed up, you got a free PSA sample from the MI line for signing up. And then I think the next 10 more will get some sales kits and stuff. So, but take advantage of thinking of where you can strategically place your item, and then that'll help them think of that too. Did a session for an end user client 2 weeks ago, and the distributor wanted to focus on promotional products, and great. And I asked the question into the audience of, I think it was over 120 people. This one question: how much is it worth to put a miniature billboard on your customer's or prospect's desk? It was funny. I got a lot of different responses, everything from $100 down to, well, it's priceless. And the great thing about what we can do is we can land a campaign that over the course of a year, quarter, month, we can target specific places where we can drop a promotional product. So think about that, write that down, and again, getting to the partner leverage. You got to leverage your partners. You got to leverage your partners. So if you're a distributor, you have your supplier partners, and vice versa. Hey, we're all in this together, and it's up for us to be able to come up with the ideas, to come up with the plan moving forward. Next time a sales rep's in, if you're a distributor, ask them. Okay, here are my top five customers. This is the stuff that they have going on. What can we do to work together? You got to definitely leverage it, and that'll give you the tools to really stay ahead and be on top of things. Because from a supplier standpoint, they see what's going on all over the country where you're sitting in a specific isolated spot, and what's working well in one area can easily be put in place where you are. So, got to definitely leverage. Now we're getting into referral programs. Who out there has a referral program? Raise your hand. Okay. I don't see any so far. So basically, when you're creating a referral program, you need to give them the tools that will help them think of your customers or think of their friends to help you refer to them. A lot of people have a hard time making the connection of a promotional, well, for one, what a promotional product is. That's even a bigger issue, but how promotional products can help solve a specific thing, like promote early buys. It could increase fundraising efforts. There's a lot of different things, so you got to help them with that. And remember, with referrals basically stimulates the word of mouth. I want, say you're a distributor and I'm the client, and you come to me and say, do you know anybody that could use pens? And I'm the client thinking, well, I have my whole list of I have my whole list of my contacts, and I'm like, that might not be the best question to ask. But when you can ask a question, and I'll get to that question in a second, but this one popped up ahead of it. But 80% of people use recommendations from family members or friends when making a purchase. That's pretty amazing. When you think about that, 80%, that's almost all the time. I mean, when you're looking for a specific, let's say a specific, outdoor, like mosquitoes are coming in. Hey, who do you use for bug control and stuff like that? You might have some, but when somebody says, hey, you got to go here, you got to go there, you'll definitely do it. So, but when you're setting up a referral scheme, basically, you got to ask them when they're most happy. So let's say you just recently helped them with a campaign and it was a great success. That's the best time, because then it'll help them. They understand that you want to grow your business and they want to help you. So that best time is when something happens. But getting back to the right question, this is the question you need to ask. I'm expanding my business and need your help. Who do you know? Who do you know who needs shirts or caps? Or don't think product specific, think solution specific. Like, who do you know that needs to generate new sales leads? Boom. Oh, I can think of 5 different things. People, my BNI group, they were just talking about that. Who do you know that attends trade shows? Boom. It gives them the specific thing to go through their contacts to help you. Who do you know is concerned about employee safety? Boom. With all the different things of what promotional products can do and help them achieve is what you stick in that question right there. So I'll go back to it, because this is the whole key. This is the reason why people don't have a referral program set up. They don't know what to say, or they say the wrong thing. Hey, can you refer? Who needs pens, or who needs tools, or who needs a mug? Really nobody. But if you go specifically of how it's going to do, how it's going to promote early buys, how's it going to, say thank you, basically. So that's the question. If you haven't, I'm leaving this up here just a second longer, because I want you to be able to write it down. Just to get a show of hands up there on who's with us in the program all over the country. Do you think this particular one right here is important? Do you think it's the right question to ask? Or do you have another question that you ask that would complement this? So if you have that, just go ahead and type it in the chat session, and we'll go forward. All right. Going back to the bonus slide. Oh, actually, we had somebody that wanted to go back to the slide before, and they were still writing down the question. Way to go. I'm expanding my business and need your help. Think about that. When you ask for help, people will definitely help you in any way they can. Who do you know who, boom, needs to improve customer relations? Oh, I can think of that. My buddy just, is having trouble with keeping clients. That would be perfect. I'll give you his name. All right. Okay, getting to the bonus of the bonus spot. Who out there has anybody came up with any ideas to help them plant the next seed? Anybody? This bonus is going to be, this will help you plant the next seed and I'm going to something else real quick. On the bottom of each purchase order that you send in, please write, please make up a complimentary item. Now you might say, why on earth would I, why would you do that? Well, basically what it does is it gives the factories definite ways to help you. Let's say, give you an example, if you're going to, let's say you just sold an order of shirts, and you got the order of shirts in there, and you know that your customer has, let's say, either some kids or some people that you think that might work with that program. You can make up some smaller sizes. Another thing is you can springboard to the next order. So I'll give you an example. So you're making up shirts for let's say an outing, and the wintertime or golf season's coming up. You could actually make up another item, let's say like a windbreaker that they could use, something else with their logo on it, and definitely it'll help you plant the next seed. So when you get the shirts, you got the jacket to take back in there. Remember, you always want to be going back to the next, planting the seed for the next thing. And again, getting back to helping automate things, that is definitely a way that can help you with that. So on the bottom of every order that you send in, say, please make up a complimentary item. Or if you know that you know what you want to make up, just go ahead and make it up. Look, the majority of the time it's going to be at no charge, but there might be like a product charge or something like that. Let me tell you, suppliers want to hear about that. Suppliers definitely want to help you. So if you kind of help them that, hey, I'm interested in planting the next seed and trying to sell you for the next order, they'll do it. So that's definitely a bonus. That was that. How do you say thank you? Out there, how does everybody out there say thank you? You call them. Get back to the communication lines. You could call them. You could stop by. You could send a thank you card. I mean, when was the last thank you card you received? I don't hear much out there, so I'm thinking people probably haven't got one recently. But I'll tell you, I have a drawer full of all thank you notes, and if anybody that sent me a note needs any help, I am right there. It just shows that they took the extra step. So think of your customers. Think of maybe even when you develop when you sell an order. Here's what you're going to send out. There's lots of different people have done lots of different things. You could follow it up with a thank you candy. There's so many different products out there that you could use that have the thank you theme to them that you could use to help promote yourself as well as thank you too. Could even be a thank you referral card. Hey, thank you for your business. Who do you know that? Boom. So you can definitely take it to the next level on that. And trying to think what else. Any other ways out there? Does anybody have any unique ways they want to share with everybody? This is one thing. If you take yourself out of this business and think about how many times have you ever received a gift from somebody? Think about it. Take yourself totally out of the promotional products business, whether you've been doing it a year or whether you've been doing it 25 years. When was the last time you got a gift from somebody? I can think of maybe a handful. I can think of going in my insurance office guy, setting up a policy, and I had to actually ask him, hey, what do you have? Do you have like anything with your logo on it? And he went back to a file cabinet and unlocked it and gave me a bug. But kind of cracked me up because really the promotional product consultant or a distributor that sold it to him, they should have had a way of saying, hey, every new client, you got to give them a mug. Give them a mug with a pen and keep your stuff out. So I think that's partially our fault for not coming up with the delivery method of the promotional product, which for you can definitely help get more clients to buy more a lot of times in sales, and I know us, we like to get in there, get the order, and get the heck out before they change their mind. But it's up to us to make that plan, ask that next question after you sold the order. Well, how are you going to distribute these? That could open up a whole other world of packaging. It could open up a whole other world to help you and take more to the bottom line by adding more things involved in that. So remember, those who receive gifts tend to display them and talk about them. Getting back to the word of mouth, that is definitely important. And then the one thing that I've learned about living on this great earth is that I can do anything I think I can, but I can't do it alone. So it's up to us to find our team. Jeff provides a great platform for resources, as well as the association has a lot of great resources available. But there's so many different things that can help each and every one of us take it to the next level and go from there. So when you're ready to go, we're getting ready to build your team. Think about it. You're on a race. You're on a mission. Build your team. Take your list that you've been writing, your goals, and help set different programs involved in that. But what we're going to do is we're going to close with a video. And as this video pops up, it's by the Think and Grow Rich author. But this is on freepromotips.com in the Resource Center. I can't pull this up in a second. I'll send you the links out.
Yeah, Charles, people could just email Jeff at freepromotips.com, and I'll send them the link.
Yeah, because for some reason it's not pulling up on here. But I want everyone to go in and watch this video. It only takes about 5 minutes. But it gives you basically what you need to be successful. And the bottom line is you got to be able to believe in yourself and what you can think and believe you can achieve. So with that, I want to thank everybody today for taking out the time. Hopefully we've provided enough little nuggets for you to help grow your business. And then if anything I can do to help you grow your business as well, the same with Jeff, we're here to help you. So Jeff, I'll turn it back over to you, and thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks very much, folks. And there are some great things ahead with Success Tracks. Charles, that was really awesome. A couple of things that I took note of are, I love that plastic bag. The Ziploc thing is pretty cool because I'm like not the most organized person in the world. And also the concept of thank you notes. We just have gotten away from some of these things that are really quite effective. And I just was at a big business meeting in the Midwest, and I sent personal thank you notes, and discussions are going along with that. It's a super high impact thing that we forget about. So again, thank you folks for attending. We're going to be following up with you with MI Line stuff. Thanks to our sponsors, Fields, Primeline, Warwick, and Newton Manufacturing. These people are supporting education. Great things are ahead. We're working through some of the technical issues, and we've gone with a robust program because we believe it will give us more tools to do some great presentations. You can email any questions that didn't come up to me, Jeff at freepromotips.com, and we'll go ahead and respond. And any comments you have about the session, topics that you want to see, things we could do better, let us know what you think. And for those of you who are not opted in to receive free promo tips, just go to freepromotips.com. It's just a free twice-a-month e-newsletter where we cover all kinds of industry issues, challenges, content that's relevant to those of us that are in this great business. So thanks again. We also should have this thing recorded, and that'll be available as well. So watch for that. Thanks again, and please make it a great day.